What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can send leads to Pipedrive CRM from Google Forms using make.com. Let's get started. Since we are collecting the leads from Google Forms, on Google Forms, I've created this simple contact form and renamed it to Pipedrive form, where we are collecting the name, email, address, phone number, organization, and comments from our contacts. Now to preview our form, I'll click on preview, and here you will see our form. I've gone ahead and added my details. So you can see the name, email, address, phone number, organization, and comments. Now to begin receiving this data to our automation, here I'll search for Google Forms, then click on watch responses. Now here you'll need to create a connection between make.com and Google Forms just by clicking on add, renaming your connection, and signing in with your Google account. Since I've created a connection, I'll just choose the right connection right here. And here I'll search for my form. So I'll click on search, and here I'll search for my form by clicking on OK. You can see that it got my form, and I'll choose to leave all limiters too. And now click on OK. You can choose to start from now, a specific dates, manually, or from all the submitted forms. I'll choose on all and then click on OK. So on our form, when we click on submit, and then over here, we run our module, you'll see that our module ran successfully, and we have all the details right here. We have the comments, we have the address of the contacts, we have their phone number, email, name, and organization. You can see all that information right here. Since we have all the data right here that we are receiving from our form, we can begin adding the contacts to our Pipedrive CRM. I'll search for Pipedrive and then click on Pipedrive. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to search for the contact or the organization if they already exist in our Pipedrive CRM. I'll search for person to see if they already exist. The term, we can choose email and then select all fields. For organization ID, I'll choose my organization ID. I'll click on OK. You can also choose to search if the organization that he added on the form exists on our Pipedrive CRM. So here I'll also search for organization. For the term, since they are adding their work emails on our form, we can choose to take the last part of their email, which will be the name of their company or organization. So here we can choose to add work email first, and then split the work email into two. So I'll cut it and then split the work email. We will split the email from the art in the email, and then we'll pick the last part of the email. So here I'll cut this and then click on last and add our function right here. So here we are splitting the work email with from the art and then picking the last part, which is the domain of the organization this contact will be in. And then I'll click on OK. If the contact doesn't exist in our CRM and the organization doesn't exist in our CRM, we can set new contacts and organization IDs. I'll set multiple variables. Here, I'll set up a filter and label it as set person and organization IDs, and then click on OK. The first variable that I'll add is the person ID. So the person ID, for the variable value, we're going to add the person ID right here. You can also add the organization ID and add the organization ID right here and click on OK. Now, with the person ID and organization ID, we can begin creating new organization and persons. So here, I'll add a router. You can split it into three, where this one we're adding the organization, here we're adding the person, and we can also add the leads on a leads board in our CRM. So for this one, we're going to create a new organization. So on Pipedrive, I'll search for create an organization. We're going to give it a name. So for the name of organization, we're going to choose the name of our organization right here. So on organization, just click on the value of organization. For the owner, since I'm the owner, I'll search for Dennis. Here, I'll click on OK. And here we can set a variable for organization. Here we can say the organization ID will be equal to the organization ID. And then click on OK. Here, we can also set up a filter and call it no organization found. And here we'll say organization doesn't exist. So if the organization doesn't exist, we are going ahead and creating a new organization right here. Now, we can do the same for the person. To create a new person to a CRM, we'll first of all get the organization ID. On tools, I'll get multiple variables. And here, I'll get the organization ID. And then click on OK. And then here we can create our person. For the name, we're going to add the name of our contact. Start the value right here. For the owner, I'll search for the owner right here, which is myself. And then for the organization, we're going to choose the organization ID that we got right here. Then for the email, since we are getting the work email, we can label it as work. It's going to be email. You can say visible to entire company shared. Now I'll click on OK. The last thing I'll do over here is on tools, I'll set a variable, and I'll set the variable for person ID. And the person ID is going to be person ID that we got right here. And click on OK. Now the last thing I will do on our flow right here is set up a filter. To set up a filter, we'll label it as no person found. And then here the condition will be the person ID doesn't exist. And then click on OK. To add our contact as a new lead, here we'll get multiple variables. Remember here we got the organization, so we can add that person to the organization. Here we're going to get the multiple variables and get both the organization and the person ID. So the first we'll get the person ID and the organization ID, and then click on OK. And then here we'll create a new lead. So click on create a lead, create a new lead. The title, we are going to name our lead as their full name, so the name that they gave us right here. Then I'll choose the owner, and then the person, I'll choose the person ID that we got right here. The organization, I'll choose the organization ID that we got right here. You can say visible to the entire company that is shared. Click on OK. Here we're getting all the details from our form right here. And then with the form details, we are searching whether the person exists in our CRM. We're also searching if the organization exists in our CRM. And then if they do not exist, we are setting a person and organization ID right here with this set multiple variable. And then if the organization doesn't exist, we are creating a new organization right here and setting the organization ID variable right here. Then over here, if we did not find the contact or the person in our Pipedrive CRM, we are getting the organization ID. And then we are creating the person right here. And then setting the person ID variable on the set variable module. And then we also getting the multiple variables, both the organization and person ID right here, using these get multiple variable module, and creating a lead on Pipedrive using the person ID and organization ID. The thing that I forgot is on create a person, here change the label to work email. The value of our email will be our email right here. And then click on OK. We can run our automation and see if it will run successfully. Now to do that on our form, I'm going to choose to resend the same details that we had previously on our form right here. Just click on submit. And then on automation, I'll click on run once. You can see the automation ran successfully. Got the data that we just submitted to our form right here. And it searched if the person exists. It searched also if the organization exists. And if the organization and the person do not exist, we are creating the IDs using this set multiple variable right here. And then we're going ahead and creating the organization if the organization is not found. And then we're also doing that with the person by creating a new person right here. And we are creating also the leads right here. On our Pipedrive CRM, on people, you will see the new person that we just created on our automation right here. So here you will see the name, the organization that they are in, their email, the owner, and the updated time. On organization, you'll see that we created a new organization right here. People is one, this person right here. And then here we are getting the owner and the date and time the organization was created. When you go to leads, you'll also see the new lead that we created right here. We see the title, the time and date it was created, the owner, and the organization this contact is in, just by setting up the simple automation on make.com. This is a simple automation that you can set up right now on make.com and send new leads to Pipedrive from Google Forms. If you have any automation in mind that you'd like for me to create, comment down below in the comment section. And if I find your comment interesting, I'll come back on a future video showing you how to create the automation from scratch. Otherwise, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.